As an Xbox fanboy myself, the PS4 with the PSVR, it's pretty fire. I mean, I guess each gaming company is doing its own thing. Xbox is acquiring the Infinity Stones. I mean, gaming companies. Nintendo's doing Portal. PlayStation does VR. Anyway, back to the virtual world. We got Beat Saber for the PlayStation VR. So Beat Saber is essentially Guitar Hero, but with sabers and no guitar controller. Okay, that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching. Okay. I'll talk about the game more. First off, Beat Saber is a VR game. So there isn't really any way to play unless you have the VR gear, which unlike Guitar Hero, which you could actually play with a normal controller, so that right there is a major difference. But Beat Saber is much more futuristic, both in the VR technology and the song selections, because most of them, you're doing the rhythm notes where you're doing the drum or the bass line, which means the songs they pick can be much more techno and electronic, which is 100% the case. I don't know if any of these songs are really popular enough to be on the radio or if they're exclusive to the game, but a lot of them bump, and it's really easy to get in rhythm of the song to do the Saber stuff. And they even have the Crab Rave meme song, which is by far my favorite song in the game. You can't not play it, but that is where the song positives end, because there just isn't a ton of song options without buying the DLC. Each song has multiple difficulties and differing settings that can completely customize the way you want to play the game, which is, I feel like, something I really drive home, playing a game how you want to play the game. But for example, there's these black walls you need to avoid in the game, and I always turn those off because I feel like you need to move your body too much to avoid them. Like the black walls that cover the top half of the screen, I basically have to dive onto the floor because squatting down just doesn't do the trick. And I'm not super tall or anything, I'm only 6'1", it shouldn't be that hard. And when they're on the left or the right side, it's not just a simple lean, you have to like take an extra step to go in that direction, and then it's just like too much stuff going on. So I can remove the black walls, and that's what I do. The score goes down a little bit because I'm making it a little bit easier, but it's a nice feature that I can play the game without the walls and having to do aerobics and stuff in the middle of my living room. But other than that, the song selection does seem fairly small. Guitar Hero had 20 or so songs, but it had a lot more you can unlock and play for fun, and that's where the extra songs on here are DLC, so you have to pay for those. So this devolves into a modern gaming rant on how extra stuff could be earned through in-game play rather than just shelling out real-world money for the extra stuff, which is a fair point and true in this situation. I just know it's not an argument point to hang on forever, since everybody knows and agrees that the DLC stuff in modern gaming isn't really the greatest. Other than that, I feel like the only other negatives is that there really isn't a progression for the campaign. You just play songs that are available, and there isn't a progression to force you to play through all the songs or play them in different arenas like Guitar Hero, which could be a little bit difficult to do, and I understand the choice to not do that, but it's basically a game that only lets you do free play, which is fine, but just not something that makes someone want to play with purpose, you know? So all in all, I really like the songs, and I like how the game is played. When you're feeling it and hitting all the right notes, you just feel on top of the world, but then the song ends and you get a high score, and the only other thing you can really do is play some more songs and not really do much else. So the highs are highs. It doesn't really offer a lot for a purpose to keep me playing for the long term. Certainly no list that I've accumulated so far I can put this game on, but it's a solid game. If it was more than just a quick play type of deal, it would have felt more impactful, but for now it's just a cool game to play for a couple minutes, and that's pretty much it. And the Crab Rave. Surely it just starts with sabers, but then what's the next thing? Beat AK-47s? Beat bazookas? Actually, I was just joking at first, but that might actually be pretty fun to play. My kids would love beat bazookas. Hope you enjoyed watching. Thanks for watching. Working on another review soon. See you then.